Alright, I'm going to show you guys how I redid my sun visors. As you see, they're totally busted and disgusted. I ripped all the cloth off, made myself some patterns out of some just cardboard boxes. There goes the pattern. I traced it on paper first, then I traced it on cardboard just to make sure I got a good shape for my pattern. And then I picked out some fabric. I had some leftover fabric from my headliner. Went ahead and cut out some shapes for my visors. So you have to do 4, 2 for the front, 2 for the back. Nothing too crazy. Then you just kind of measure it up. You want to give yourself, I would say, about an inch of extra fabric going all the way around. Initially I did this wrong, so you want to make sure you have that extra fabric. I'm going to show you why in a second. Just make sure you have that extra fabric going all the way around, a nice border. You're going to first glue the back. Then after you glue the back, you're going to go ahead and glue the front. I'm going to use that Scotch 77. And I glued it, 1/2 at a time, then folded it over and glued it again. And then as you see, you want to make sure you press those 2 borders together so you have yourself a nice 1-inch border of fabric all the way around the visors. And then you're going to have to stitch it. I can't really teach you how to stitch. You see I'm using the sewing awl. If you go on YouTube and look up videos for speedy stitch, that's what I'm doing. The speedy stitch is very tedious, but it did work great. You just want to make sure your stitches are kind of close together, maybe no further than the tip of your finger, and you want to make sure you get as close to the visor as possible with your stitches. But you do want to make sure you stitch this because you want to make sure this never comes off again. So you want to make sure you stitch. I even stitched the little hole where the clip goes. So you got to make sure you stitch it all together, because any little hole can break open and then you'll be back at square one. And those are my visors. Glued them together, stitched them together by hand, and that is how you do it, folks. It's not that complicated. I put this off for a while, but it only took around 3 days, maybe altogether 3 hours of work, maybe 2.5. Most of the time was stitching. That's literally the hardest task, but there it is right there. I'm showing you, I did stitch around the clip, just making sure you see that. And we're good, man.